The Shameless Woman. Nyama was a humble and hardworking man, dedicated to providing for his wife Lara and their 4 children. He worked
He worked hardly as a welder in a new company in Lagos. The manager was very happy for his job. Nyama was very proud of his family and worked tirelessly to provide for his. He worked hardly as a welder in a new company in Lagos. The manager was very happy for his job. Nyama was very proud of his family and worked tirelessly to provide for his wife Lara and their 3 children. Despite his efforts, Lara was never satisfied. She longed for cars, beautiful clothes, and expensive things that Nyama couldn't provide. His efforts never seemed to satisfy Lara. She constantly complained, comparing his unfavorably to his younger brother, Kofi, who was wealthy and successful in business. Night and day, she kept scolding her husband, for he couldn't offer the luxurious life she longed for. Nyama, why can't you be like your brother? Look at the life he lives, parties, expensive cars, and money. And look at us, struggling in this tiny house. I deserve a better life too. The man kept begging his wife to be patient because he was sure that one day fate would provide for them too. Just give me time. Soon, my boss will raise my salary. I'm working hard, but nothing could appease their complaints. In the other hand, Kofi, the younger brother, regularly hosted grand parties at his luxurious home, and he often invited Lara to come and cook for his guests. Lara, he said, you must come to the party tonight. Your cooking is simply the best. So she came regularly to prepare delicious meals and enjoy Kofi's company. He would say, stay over, it's too late to return home after the party. Just call my brother so he doesn't worry. Each time she visited her brother-in-law's comfortable house, she stayed overnight, enjoying the luxury that contrasts sharply with her modest home. Lara, eager for a taste of luxury, began spending more nights at Kofi's house. She enjoyed the comfort and wealth, clearing contrasting with her modest home. It wasn't long before the line between hospitality and flirtation blurred. Over time, a dangerous relationship developed between Lara and Kofi. Their flirtation soon blossomed into a secret affair. Lara found many reasons to stay longer, not wanting to return to her husband's humble home.
Lara's dissatisfaction with Nyama grew, and she spent more and more nights at Kofi's house, unwilling to return to her husband's modest place. As her husband was getting more and more worried, she found reason to explain her absence. Months later, Nyama discovered the scandal. The situation reached a boiling point when Nyama came over one night to pick up his wife. He found them kissing on the couch. The scandalous affair hit his evidence. Kofi, with a defying confidence, declared his brother that he was in love with Lara and intended to marry her. Kofi, how could you do this? How could you betray me like this? Kofi replied arrogantly, Nyama, I love Lara and she loves me. I want to marry her. The scandal rocked the family and the village. Nyama, heartbroken and humiliated, faced the unbearable truth, for his own brother had taken his wife. Lara, consumed by greed and the allure of wealth, abandoned Nyama and their children, leaving them to deal for themselves. After months of counseling, Nyama struggled to pick up the pieces of his shattered life. He was left to care for their children alone, bearing the weight of betrayal and sorrow, but Nyama maintained his dignity and called for a family meeting urgently. Nyama, what is this urgent matter you've called for us? Nyama was breaking. My brother Kofi had taken my wife. They have been having an affair. Their mother crying. Kofi, how could you do this to your own brother? Kofi defiant replied, I love Lara and she loves me. We want to be together. This is a grave matter, the father replied. Lara, what do you have to say yourself?
This is a disgrace, Lara. You have betrayed your husband and your family. You brought the curse in my family. Despite the elders' effort to resolve the issue, Lara
Was left her husband.
Lara's new life with Coffee was initially filled with the luxury she had always desired, but the happiness was short-lived. They traveled and spent a lot, maybe to appease the guilt of her action. But her actions still began to weigh heavily on her, and the trust between her and Kofi was fragile at best. The very greed that had driven her to leave Nyama now threatened to destroy her new relationship. 3 years later, meanwhile, Lara's new life with Kofi began to unravel. Kofi's business was investigated and he was found guilty of trading prohibited products. He was sentenced to prison, leaving Lara alone and vulnerable. Coffee in prison, Lara was kicked out of the house. She lost everything she had longed for and found herself desperate and alone. The consequences of her greed and betrayal caught up with her. Nyama's story is one of profound sadness, break tears and sorrow, yet it's also a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Despite the betrayal and heartbreak, Nyama emerged stronger, proving the true worth is not measured by wealth but by the character and resilience. Years passed, and Nyama's resilience paid off. He rebuilt his life and provided a stable, loving home for his children with a loving woman. Despite the heartache, he remained a kind and humble man, gaining the respect and admiration of those around him. As for Lara, the consequences of her action caught up with her. In the end, Lara was left to face the emptiness of her choices, realizing too late the value of the love and loyalty she had forsaken. Nyama's story is one of profound sadness, break tears, and sorrow.